Internet computer, or ICP, is going to change the world as we know it. The legacy internet that you're interacting with right now while watching this video is going to soon be a thing of the past, and internet computer, or ICP, will be the future that replaces everything. Not only that, it's heavily undervalued with fantastic tokenomics. Could this be the ultimate investment in cryptocurrency right now? Hit the like button and let's find out. Now guys, simply put, the internet computer is trying to replace the current internet. How does the current internet work? Well, the traditional internet that you know and I know right now is powered by a handful of huge companies, which you've probably already heard of. One of them is Amazon Web Services, others Google Cloud Services, and then a handful of others. Each year, this industry is worth in the trillions of dollars, and that's one major first problem. It's expensive. They basically work by having huge on-site data centers where they run a bunch of different computers, and then this basically is the back end. And these data centers basically then power the internet, which is built upon these cloud services. Now, this is very simplified, guys, because I'm a simple guy, and hopefully it makes it easier for you guys to understand as well. Now, if you wanted to go and build a website, you would then go and find a hosting service, which is built on top of this cloud service, and then that goes basically onto the legacy stack internet. Now, basically, that means that any one of these levels can be effectively tampered with or turned off at any given time. For example, if I want to interact with YouTube and make a YouTube video, YouTube can then control my content on the front end. If, however, hackers get into YouTube and try and disrupt what's going on with YouTube, then they can effectively shut down YouTube perhaps. And then the people who are providing YouTube with the data services and everything it needs could also turn the switch down on YouTube. And effectively at any point throughout this, there could be interruptions. So how does this compare to internet computer? Well, the internet computer works by having decentralized data centers which are placed around the world and who can basically become a data center and contribute to the network. If you line up with some of the parameters, you will receive rewards for doing so in ICP tokens. The ICP internet is then built upon this, and smart contracts are deployed in the form of these things called canisters. These canisters are basically decentralized smart contracts. Websites, etc. can then be built onto the smart contracts, and then you therefore have a fully decentralized base layer, or the data center layer, fully decentralized every single point up through this to where you can basically create websites and create anything, and it can't be altered or removed by anyone or anything out there. This is very interesting and very exciting, and this is what Web3 really is. Now, that's really, really simplified, I understand, and if you want to go into more depth and understand it more, then I recommend going across to Internet Computer. Now, let me explain something to you very simply using this website here. This is Solana.com, which, as you all know, is basically building towards Web3 environment, layer 1 for the Web3 environment. Now, this, as I look at it, is a web page which could be effectively a decentralized web page. Now, many web pages out there are now starting to become decentralized, and things you can interact with, such as on Binance, where you're using cryptocurrency, which is decentralized using decentralized applications powered by Ethereum or whatever, are all decentralized. But the back end of these websites right now is not decentralized in any way. How do I know that? Well, if I go up here on Google and I come down to more tools and I click on developer tools, then you can see that I can see the back end of what is going on in Solana. Now, where does that become problematic? Well, I myself am not a hacker. It might not shock you to know, but hackers have the ability to potentially go in and alter some of this code and effectively change the way that the front end and things operate. They can also go in and alter things in the back end, which means that there's more possibility of these projects being altered. Another thing to consider when we're looking at legacy Web 2 internet is you have to pay for things like internet security, and consistently you need to update and change websites and do all this thing to ensure that people are not able to come in and tamper and change different parts of the front end or the back end. This is an extremely expensive problem that's very heavy on manpower and very costly. However, the internet computer, because of it being built on smart contracts and because it's fully decentralized from front end all the way to the back, is completely tamper proof at any point throughout the whole journey. So you're starting to understand that it's incredibly cost effective to be able to do that. And it's because of this, ICP is now being considered to be the third innovation, or the third great innovation in the concept of blockchain. The first being Bitcoin, of course, 2008, and it was 2009, smart contracts, Ethereum, of course, and then now an infinite blockchain, 2021, the third invention. So how does this potentially change the game for us? Well, look at this, guys. In terms of as a smart contract and how the game is starting to change and how decentralization is starting to really develop, you can look here at all of the things that you can do on internet computer. You can host smart contracts, serve as web or HTTP. That means that if you are trying to build like a traditional style website, like you want to go in and use the current like systems to build current websites, you could do that using like a traditional like front end with a decentralized back end, which in turn means the front end is also decentralized, which also means it benefits from that decentralization, security, and lack of tampering. That's very important. Interaction without tokens. Now, in order to use Ethereum and Solana and interact on those platforms, you need to use Ethereum and Solana tokens. The difference is here with Internet Computer is the developers who are using the smart contracts are the ones who are creating the canisters are using the smart contracts to pay for the canisters. That means that when you're interacting with these different platforms, you can download decentralized applications, you can download all of these things, interacting with the Internet Computer, however, without having to always pay ICP tokens. Again, this is why it's better. This is where we're going forward. Blockchain nodes in cloud. You can see at the moment, Ethereum and Solana are not fully decentralized. Around 50% in Ethereum and 75% of Solana currently still have some of their blockchain in legacy or Web 2 internet cloud services. That means, again, those cloud services have the ability to shut down and completely shut down these cryptocurrencies. However, Internet Computer is fully decentralized. It's fully away from the cloud. It's its own entity, decentralized, decentralization. Okay, that's starting to make sense. And because of all of this, costs of storing 1 gigabyte of data on a blockchain, bearing in mind that data on cloud services is very expensive. In Ethereum, costs $350 million per year. In Solana, $800,000 per year. It's literally $5 per gigabyte per year in Internet Computer. 1 gigabyte of data, 300 phone photos, 17 minutes of phone videos, 1/350th of Bitcoin history transactions. You get the picture, guys. It's actually not that much data, but you can see that Ethereum and Solana wouldn't be able to provide this kind of service the Internet Computer is doing. And it's this reverse of gas model that I've already talked about that's very important, because it means that you, the user, can use the application and interact with the application, maybe buying NFTs if you want or whatever, but at no point having to pay any gas fees, because the gas fees are paid on the other side. It's the developers who are paying the gas fees, in the same way that someone who's hosting a website pays hosting fees and all those things like that. You as a Web 2 user, when you're going and browsing across Amazon, when you're going and playing digital games and using YouTube, you don't have to pay anything to interact. Unless you want to go and buy something, you're not paying anything, because the developers and the back end are paying things. This is exactly the same in Internet Computer. Now, two other projects that are running very closely, apparently very closely to Internet Computer, and this is from Virtual Bacon, who's got a great YouTube channel, and definitely you should go and check it out because he covers this in more depth than I do. But he talks about Filecoin and Arweave having similar kind of plans to trying to compete with basically what Internet Computer are doing. And you can see here we got the front end, the back end, the smart contract, and the storage. These are 4 things that are required in order to make a successful project going forward. Now, the front end might be things like landing pages, blogs, or the Uniswap interface, or Wikipedia, etc. The back end might be once you've kind of logged into that platform. For example, if you've got inside of Facebook, you're now looking at the profiles. Once you've logged into YouTube, you're looking at YouTube videos, you can host games and logins and stuff. Then you're into the smart contracts, like the DeFi, the NFTs, the tokens, etc. And then onto the final bit, the storing of data, storing of permanent files. Now, if we look at Filecoin, it does come a little bit closer to Internet Computer, but Arweave is so far away, okay? Filecoin as well still doesn't really offer the opportunity to be able to build or back-end stuff. It has to use other cloud services, and this is another problem. Are we again just way off course because it's still struggling with things like smart contracts and stuff like that? Internet Computer is so far ahead of the game because it's already doing everything that all of these projects are trying to work towards. And if you don't believe me, let's take a look. Now, if you come across to the Internet Computer website, not only is there a huge amount of detail and stuff up here, but what you can do is you can click on Use, and then you can come down, and then you can just click on anything here. Social media dApps, decentralized applications, DeFi, NFTs, and it's going to take you through to projects and things that are already being run on the Internet Computer. So let's just go with social media dApps. And here you can see that there's a bunch of different dApps or decentralized applications that you can use. Now I'm just going to come down through and see what they've got. And you can see that all of these, or some of them at least, are built like around kind of the concept of one that's already in existence. OpenChat, decentralized alternative to WhatsApp. Now I can open this up, guys, and I haven't looked at this before, but you can see in here, you've got all the different groups and things like that. Now, if I was to go and click on one of these groups, I could click here, I can click on join, and you can see that now I am in this decentralized group. Now, this is cool, guys, because if you're thinking about Telegram or WhatsApp or anything like that, all of those have the ability to go in and someone can shut them down. How do you know at any point that people aren't really like looking into your messages or what's going on? This, however, is a fully decentralized back-end, front-end application built on the Internet Computer, and you can see that it works, guys. 6,800 people in this group. I don't know what they're talking about. Most of these seem to be talking about crypto. Fair enough. And you can see there's lots of different bits and pieces being shared in here. If I go back to the list, then I can do all sorts of other things. Now, what else is cool when I use these decentralized applications like this is they've now started to implement something called chain key tokens. Now, if you've ever been to China, then you may have used something called WeChat. WeChat is like an everything application. What Elon Musk keeps talking about, this everything application. It means it's like a social media platform where you can chat with other people, you can share your pictures, but most importantly, you can pay each other. You can then do different things like split the bill for a meal, you can book your flights, you can pay your energy bills, you can do every single thing. But that's all linked to a bank account, your Chinese bank account, and then from there, you obviously take the money out of that. Imagine an everything app being run fully decentralized without any interaction from the banks or anything like that, or using chain key tokens. Imagine being able to pay for a takeaway coffee with Bitcoin, sending Satoshi to a friend on your favorite Web3 chat app. Chain key tokens, a cryptographically secure replacement to wrapped tokens, allow end users to seamlessly transfer tokens between blockchains with speed without relying on third-party bridges or custodians. And this all happens insanely fast compared to other platforms out there. Also, you won't get hacked or anything like that because it's completely decentralized and secure. I hope all this is starting to make sense. ICP, or Internet Computer, is incredibly powerful. It is so far ahead of the game that you just can't even comprehend. Now, I know what you're going to say, because I've heard it all before. ICP is a scam, it blew up at the very start, and it can't be relied upon. When it launched with an insane valuation, somewhere around $430 million, but actually something very shady went on in the start of it with FTX, good old FTX, buying a ton of tokens, forcing the price up really, really high, and then selling it, which collapsed the price. Everyone lost faith in ICP. And then for a bunch of time, it was trading around sort of $70, and then right now, it's literally, basically, many people are telling you it's dead. Oh, currently just under $3. Now, there's lots of things to consider here. This is one of the most innovative and exciting projects out there. The marketing seems to be getting built up. Currently, we're starting to see more hype arriving in the YouTube space. Lots of people searching for Internet Computer. It seems to be going down as a very popular project, which is weird because earlier on this year it wasn't. Market cap, $1.3 billion. Circulating supply is pretty much around 90%. Fully diluted market cap, just under $1.5 billion. So this means the tokenomics is great. Tokenomics on this are far better than they are on some other projects out there, Solana being one, Avalanche being another. And I am still bullish on Solana. I still like what they're doing with NFTs, and I still think it's going to do well in this next market. But from a purely tech standpoint and from a purely undervalued tokenomics standpoint, there's not much better out there than Internet Computer, in my honest opinion. I'm very excited about what is happening in this space. Now, I will continue to look at Internet Computer and bring it to you in more depth, for those people who want to find out more and understand more about how it works, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you want to know exactly how to find the very best entries for Internet Computer and others, then make sure you get into the inner circle, link down below in the description, where you'll be able to see my daily chart analysis on various cryptos from Casper to Bitcoin to Internet Computer, various other technical analysis from other crypto experts who have been trading crypto for the last few years, and most importantly, your ability to buy into pre-ICO crypto projects. We bought into one just a couple of weeks ago, and that project is due to launch this week. If all goes to plan, we'll get our tokens back, and you could potentially see a 3 to 5x in the last couple of weeks. So while everything else has been going towards the downside, you could have locked some money away for a month and be able to sell for a multiple just a few weeks later, which is something that's incredible because no one else can do it, guys. You can't buy in pre-ICO unless you have very big bags. What we do is we pool everyone's money together to enable us to buy into these massive projects early on. This is something that only whales previously have had access to. So if you want access to the next project, which we'll be raising for very soon, then make sure you get into the inner circle, link down below, guys. 5-day free trial, $9.99. You can go and find out my daily videos of what I'm doing each day. Basically all things behind the scenes in YouTube and everything like that. You can then go and ask other people questions, anything you need to know about what's going on in crypto. There is a bunch of extremely enthusiastic, well-read crypto enthusiasts in here. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.